Look at that 551 to move in the number one spot. Stevens was having. Just a little engine under that thing. I believe it's around 3 liters. Inline 6 power. 4.2 liter. It's a big one. Let's see it. 421. 165. Straight to number 1, folks. Again.
Beautiful body lines on these cars. Little Ricky, veteran in the sport, cut his teeth on the old Outlaw Pro Stock days.
Yeah, Lil Ricky, this is the first season out with the car being rebuilt. We saw them laying down consistently quicker.
Call, Bike and Sled 60650, final call to the lanes, please. Racer in need. Ernie Graziano needs a thermostat housing for a big block Chevy. Let's help the man out. Mine are in my other pants. What's going on down there? We got a bit of a...
All right, here comes Carl, build the boost. Carlos 426 at 174.
Excellent. Track Scott T.
Twin turbo small block Chevrolet under the hood, 496 cubic inches.
Small block.
It's a big old small block. Desserts Plus sponsored machines.
Tower side VP Racing Fuels lane. 10-5.
No EG, no qualifying, but good data there. Barry couldn't run the number. I don't know if he was lifted. Scarlotta. Big wheelie runs a 472 at 153. Matt Glassford improves his time as well.
Your quick next 275 cars down in the States.
You guys running 404.
55 to a 50. Used to be red.
Never forget your first year. Lots of purging going on. Ricky's Camaro. Big Jerry down there, gonna line them up. Backing up in the right lane, it's Jake Blaine. Keep your eyes on this Mustang. That pass he made last round was absolutely bonkers. Still not over it, just hanging the front tires for 700 feet. Probably tripped the beams of his rear tires. Here we go, folks. Are we going to see a 3-second pass right here? No time there for Jake. He didn't feel like waiting for Morrow to get that last bump in. Morrow backs up his 410 with a 413 after.
$496 cubes.
Timing blocker too? Yeah, he took over mile an hour and the ET block down.
Yeah, that's what happens. Thanks to using a signal. Rochester, New York, and Jeff Nisra, place called Aaron. Pontiac. Trent Grushaw fighting this battle with this Mustang. Let's go left.
Making his 330 hit right there.
That's only good enough for 14. Wow. Tight field here, as always, in Street 275. Or 60. Wait, no, this is. The day's getting late. My brain is getting cooked. Bill Sampson up here in the left lane, 2011 Chevrolet Camaro, powered by a Turbo LS. In the right lane, that's my Papa. And big time under there. She must have went shallow, I bet you.
Single pass. And some leakage on the line there, cleaned up. So the Maxwell Auto sponsored Nova out of Mississauga will get a freebie.
There you go. 53, doesn't it? Yeah, black stripes on both of the cars. Yeah, white stripes on the car. Very tasty. Bill Scarlatta went under, away.
Jay White down there on that. Coming out here now in a battle of the 88 and 90 Ford Mustangs. I'll let you guess which is which.
Tail end of this pro session here, so when we get here. 563. That's got to be maybe the highest wheelie we've seen today. Maybe. It's up there anyway. It's time this one. With, ooh, yeah, that's number one. He takes out Scarlatta, 550 with a Z. Nice burnouts up there. Tanner Morris pulled out part of his unit. 446. Improvement up to third qualifying position for Pano. Avicino.
That's I don't see an H though. Okay. He caught him.
414, 480. Oh my goodness, another team for Paul Bouin. Aligino gets it.
I'm gonna assume he's guy, but a good bullhorn once in a while doesn't hurt.
I used to hate
Really?
for the longest time. And I learned they actually do kind of rock All right, first and 5 guys, get ready for your final qualifier. First and 5, this is your first call for the lanes. First and 5, lines 3 and 4 now.
All right, Woodbridge. Hot track. Down to Woodbridge.
This is ICD Insurance Brokers 450 final round of qualifier. Side by side, 450 back. Boguset goes too quick. 448 is trying to improve. Mike Baldessari stays second with his 460.
For the win.
Still number one though.
Yep, no worries there.
Still number one. In all of our hearts.
Randy Hodges is going to have to lay down. We're looking for you guys. We're going to run you guys for.
Tower side, they both went under 47 and a 46 to negate those runs. Seam is still on the Bernie, sponsored by Newco. Oh, Stonelli goes under with his 48. Marty's a good old soul.
juice.
Holy smoke. Runs a 9:17 on his 9:16. Tree with that 013 light.
Okay. I'm getting a little loud. So 7-0 guys, whenever you guys have your cars cooled off, bring those things back up. Again, we're just calling everybody. Calling everybody.
Jake Blaine out of Kimball, Michigan, taking on Ricky Carlos, aka Little Ricky Carlos, over there in Camaro. And a heads up, Pro 10 5.
Got a little bit burned down on the tree, so we can get it time.
Carlos is in far lane. Currently sitting number 5 wide with 1.3. See if Ricky can break this thing. Really need that 460 pass on that back tires. Big block. Nitrous assist in the right lane. Oh, he pulled him at the end, did he? Ricky Carlos, 418, brakes are into the teens at 178. Jake Blaine hanging the front hoops once again, 417 at 187. So they back up their previous pass. Man, that Mustang is wild. Identical.
started heading towards the left.
That thing was on a rip though, 101.8 to the 60 foot. More road for Reggie back up here. It's absolutely gorgeous. Got the soft top on there.
Eyes on this one.
Towards the center. He keeps the foot into it and runs a 4.13.
177.
No improvement over his best run of a 4.10, but it's consistent. It's going A to B. Block twin turbo combination. Man, no doubt coasting to a 426 at 144 for Tony. 108 to the short, 273 to the 330.
Another Chevrolet powered Mustang in the right lane. At the strike, and he had a slight on to the next one. All right, Super Street, we're ready for you guys. Lane 78 now, Super Street to lane. Beautiful lick there, 501 on the 50 dial. Oh yeah. He can run here, 503 at 142. So he's right there on the index. Once again, boys, these are the only few competitors in the class this weekend. So this is your final round coming at you. Big check on the line. Championship points. Oh, Mickey's rolling all the way in. Here they go. No time wasted. Who's it gonna be? Nicky Dinu, 870. Motorsports Street 275 on the starting line. We got your number 3 qualifier, Trevor Snyder, in the left lane, taking on your number 18 qualifier, Rob Wade, in the right. Trevor Snyder, Macco Tools. Bueller. And he takes takes out Trevor Snyder. Trevor Snyder had to break out the hangout. His 079 was no
750, he's moved up to neck 275. And Sean Devine has McWayne helped him out. Chris Stampowski on the starting line there. Power of the internet, you know who everybody is.
Paul Moore down there lined up Doug Reed. This will be another strong test for Doug Reed. Sean finds Nova. He's consistent as it comes over there. Yeah. There we go. Both of you guys walk away. It's off to the drivers now. Doug Reed took the strike, but he took too much. Shonda broken by here first round, so this is like this is her dream. She's always wanted to test pass on Sunday. Telling her no, time.
EJ Govia could make the call. Went on there in their name.
I do not know.
For Saturday, you can find out when that.
All right, Sue's pre-stage. Back two, up 560. So she's all over the place with that car.
He is out of Niagara Falls. Tickets in that car. J. Gallant in the right lane. Beautiful smoky burnout for the Chrome Comet over there in the right lane. Maurizio in the close lane has to back it up into the water one more time to get his burnout completed. Jay Gallant, sponsored by Priority Collision in the far lane. He's really trying to take this racing stuff serious, Gush. Bad in this field. That was probably a 51. All right, Jay Gallant on the right side, out of Welland. Taking on Maurizio Graziano here on the left side. His race to lose, and he doesn't lose it. Jay Gallant moving on. All right, Bill Roberts back up here in his blue Turbo Fox body. Supposed to be lining up against Natasha, but she's a no-show. So Bill Roberts going to get a free hit at the track here this morning.
put the Gilly down 5:51 with a 3 at 122.
All right, Phil Scarlatta up here. Big block ship broke out on his last qualifier, so we know he's got the power to hang.
He can. Terrell Tank taking down Phil Scarlatta round 1. What a great job. Congratulations.
That was unexpected. Another Nova coming up in the right lane. It's Jason White, the copper top. 72 Nova. Big block Chevrolet. Nitrous assist. He's going to be taking on Bill White, the bracket, the no prep, the index racer. He does it all.
That was a big, big bump. All right, our next pair up, and it's a battle of the Mikes. Mike Thompson in the left lane, 427 cubic inch Ford under the hood. Mike Scott in the far lane, small block Chevrolet.
Nitrous on the left, turbo on the right. Mike Thompson's been racing this box body as long as I can remember. Mike Scott in the Farley. This car is new to him for this season, but he already looks comfortable. Mike Thompson waiting patiently.
Mike Thompson gets the win. What a drag race there. Look at that, 550 a pair in both lanes. Mike Thompson with a whole shot victory.
3 in 4 qualifiers. Oh, they got 444 right there with him.
He stays in it. Oh, and he hit a block.
Oh, we got a little loose in that top
And so
end,
you
y'all.
see the wind lit up on the right side, but if you cross the it stays a front board.
Right lane.
166
Win,
for
y'all.
Ralph Alagino, his best pass of the weekend.
Both
Dylan
33.
Stevens.
Yeah, all come on. Gets the competition by Chris, #1 qualifier, current class record holder. That is the car on the front. He backed it up
approaching the beams in the tower side PP Fuels Racing Lane.
In line. Watch him get on that two-step. Listen to him get
Wiggins
on
is
that
open with delicious poutine.
And he gets out of it. 1:04.60. He was on a lick right there.
Finally found someone for Dave Bogasefa Racing.
Special hot rod development built for that. And tower side, that's
And he gets it down at the top end. They both run identical.
Close
4:58.
race in there.
Yep, man, I can't believe, I couldn't imagine.
Rapid Randy likes to get rowdy in the burnout box. Burning off the nitrous. He does it, he backs it off to a 564, takes it short.
5 shoebox in black. Big inch 632.
Just gonna get it done. 550 index coming at you. It's gonna be John Sternelli
Right
driving
lane.
around a Rob Galati. Couldn't run the number.
The reigning champion in
Tomorrow Wembreth. Coming up next is Kel Wright in the right lane. Chevrolet Nova.
sinister looking beast. I love this. What's when Carol Marshall? Carol, I never knew him. Everybody used to have batteries strung around you and all this on camera.
Top, he cannot do it. Cal Wright plays the top
Right
end
lane,
correctly,
5:56,
and moves on to the
I
next
think.
round. 0:14 on the tree, 5.
Twin turbo LS powered Duster. Driver
Clockwork Orange is what he calls it, is what his father called it. Championships here in Pro and Super Pro Eliminators. Pete Newman, late Pete Newman. Now it's got an LS Actually, he got treated. He still won.
Once again, 5 guys. Lane's
Takes the stripe and gets the win. The 027 best, the 032, and a 54.
Logan Kendall coming up now in the Mustang, taking on Logan in the race leader, 5th qualifier.
Logan running up to a 563. Man, looked like Green Festival title before the Grand Prix run.
Beautiful. Out of Towanda, New York. He's getting the broken 5. Bill Fletcher couldn't make it. 550 on Chevy for Dan Marvin. On his final qualifier, he finally figured out this new combo. He was struggling greatly. Let's see if he can make it.
Yeah, putting down another 650 pass, so Marvin still struggling.
At 1:88, there it is, the first 3-second pass in Pro 10-5 at Canada Heads Up. Bill Riddle, all the way from Howell, Michigan.
Damn it, boy.
Can't even beautiful smoke on both sides. Jake Blaine in the tower side for 521-inch Hemi.
Awesome car on this side. Did a lot of awesome runs yesterday. Wheels up, going through the lights.
Yeah, that thing wants to take off. On the other side is little Ricky Carlos, Pat Busey, big block power, nitrous assist.
Did we run the wheelie bars yesterday?
I'm sure he was.
I don't think he was. No, I can't remember.
He's doing wheelies all week. Man, I ride right there. They been doing wheel stands all week. Let's see what we go do today. Well, Ricky over there. Taking time, believe it, taking time out with the car when we interviewed him. Only had a few passes on the car. Man, he ain't got no wheelie bars.
Jake Blaine drive around him, he does. 4:16 for Jake Blaine to Ricky Carlos's 4:24. Ricky had him on the tree 014 to Jake Blaine's 049. 400ths difference at the stripe. Moro Gringy in the left lane. Twin turbo. Billet everything on both these cars. All carbon, all Titanium. All OMS. Castelli's sponsored by Desert Crust in the right lane. They're sponsored by Campus Auto Body on the left. See the big crews that each of these cars have, and there's a lot of people running around like this. You've seen this car on the right being laid out with 3 second passes that it's nothing but pass. He has a little bobble, has to get out of it, but he crosses the finish line first. 4:34 for Mr. Pacelli at only 1:44. Morrow was battling the car the whole way down. He was right behind him. 4:48 at 1.
Hayabusa Turbo on a Kawasaki ZX14 in green on the tower side.
He's got the brake light on and he gets the win. Stephen Winger moving on in bike and sled. Big gap, runs it down 9:14 on the 9 flat dial and moves on to the next round.
Long distance award winner.
A little bit off the dial there.
Damn.
That moves us into ice.
For years, whenever Ferry ran, he always was on the start line watching. Ball spot there, Iron Mike Commander. Iron Mike Vanny would have to Vanny Brothers Racing Team, brother Kurt. Paul Ferry, he did that great, and always got a reaction after any of this.
Left lane. Left lane.
Sean Lake moving on.
Lane.
Look at this race. Look at the margin of victory. A 549 with a 6.
Well, that's a white bike over there, boy.
It's Ryan Hogan this time, I'll come to visit with Brillons Murray on his Suzuki. Elimination, round number 1, 177 money point. Kevin all 750. Final call, Tools, Trevor Snyder, A&E, and John Bear.
Blindfolded, the lead flat at 152.
gets lucky there and drives around.
Final gets the bye into the next round.
Number 1 qualifier, the Killer Bee Machine.
Second gen, Z28 Chevrolet Camaro Plus. Second in
Big Barry T here at the left.
very tremendous. For the Stony Creekian.
Good little pass.
Go right back. Double breakout. He didn't want her to take that strike. A little lucky there. J. McCart, 802 on our 802. Somebody booked it there. I think that was Peyton. She took the win. Good run.
rounds. Battle of the big block Chevrolet nitrous powered Nova in the right lane. Small block Ford single turbo in the left. Runs it out 452 at 157. Miser runs it out 461 at 151. Matt Glassford was one. Pushing a lot of air down there in the barrel box anyways. Corrado on the left side, 88 Mustang, the Kryptonite machine. Laid down a 454 on his last pass. The right lane to Garrett Middles at Stratton. He laid down his best pass last round as well, 447. Steve backs up his 450 with another 454. Corrado Lentinato is your X275 champion for the... at 206 for Jesse Van Bethlehem. JP couldn't make the pass once he saw Jesse flying off in the distance. Towards the center line, but still runs through 690 at 193. Man, we've got a great final round cooking up here in Pro Bike. look at Bill Goodell. Mike Gentile was
That plane won that last race.
100th of a second.
Dylan Peters in the right-hand lane and Ryan Schultz over on the tower side. They're a Ford Mustang, Ford powered, do you know?
Close lane, Idaho, most likely yes.
Right lane won that one. Right here.
Check it out. Jack
There
Vanderbilt.
will be a million people, a million cars, a million laughs. You owe it to yourself if you've never seen a Nitro car live. Come and see it. Mike and Sled, 6-0.
50 index with some additional rules to keep the cars a little more like their street car counterparts. Smaller tires, have to have headlights, that type of deal.
Got five. Okay.
Here we go, kick step plays, take out.
Okay.
Rob Wade over there, that
time advantage, and he's out front. Rob Wade takes out Steph Malay. Thompson perfect on the tree. Mike Thompson gets it done. Trip zip for Mr. Thompson, runs a 54.
Up next, we have a difference of ways to make it down the quarter mile. Jay Gallant with his silver Mustang up against the
Darrell's waiting patiently. Here we go.
He has the advantage over Jay. Oh, what a race! Jay Gallant drives around a 550 with a 3. Takes the
73 example in the left, 72 in the right.
Oh, 15 red for Jay White, giving the win over to Sean Devine. Sean Devine breaks out.
Brianna. Different T-body. Brianna Edwards out of Churchville, 84 Buick Regal, taking on Billy Roberts out of Romanville with the Mustang Coupe, with a small block Chevy and a turbo.
All right, we're looking for bike and sled 6-0 and 6-0 and 650 to the lanes, please.
Great lights for both drivers. Brianna has a slight advantage, and it pays off in the end. Brianna Edwards taking out Bill Robertson, moving on to the third round. Street 275 fronts.
Dodge Race Engine entry taking on Diamond Drew. Diamond Drew is sponsored by ICD Insurance Brokers and he is Big Block Ford against the Big Block Dodge. Okay, Randy searching the beams. He's got one. He's ready now. And he didn't do it. Diamond Drew takes the win. 55. He's had his wheelies.
Oh, but he can't run the number. John Sternelli drives around him. 9,000. Is fixed. Look at that, 541 on the breakout, so Dan Marvin gets another free one. Just like that, man.
Lift Service and Rhonda Soto, her benefactors.
Both of these drivers have a ton of seat time in these cars. I did my fair share of losing to my Jeep last year. Not alone. All right, there's Jim Mangoff's got the reaction time advantage at the top end. Who's it going to be? Jim Mangoff takes the stripe and gets the win. 012 for Jim, 050 for Mike.
Got a safe 38 small block in that S10.
Sean Woodland runs it out to a 598 on the Byron.
Final call, 70750 high 8s. Final call, 70750 high 8s. Juniors, the lane. Oh, wait a minute. Stop, strike
Jim Gilbert. His race to lose, he doesn't lose it. Joe Mercurio was sleeping on the tree. And Gilbert's moving on.
So we got a 920 to a 9 flat, 2/10 difference in the dog. Going to the tower side, Mark DeWall. Pereira playing his game.
Goes to Mark DeWall. Can he stay out front of Mike Pereira? They're side by side going to the finish line. Who's it going to be? Mike Pereira drives around him. Mark couldn't run the number, almost 2/10 off. Man, Mike Pereira.
Schaefer's Specialized Lubricants lane here at Toronto Motorsport Parts. Kind of a meager 60 foot there. I'm sure you can do better. 847 and 163.
This is pre-stage. Here comes Carlotta. Who's going to get it done at 650 index?
At the top end, Chris runs it through 652 at 106.
Let's see if my prediction pays off.
Brad Parent 007 strapping a light on his brother, and he gets it done at the big end. Brad Parent moving on.
Right lane, I think.
Mr. Leg. He's going to leg it out now. Okay.
Broken by run here.
Tardy light.
653.
Silly one coming up now on his Gulf Race Fuel sponsored Suzuki GSX. I got rid of it before it got rid of me.
Put my money on the pink.
Back to where we are. The Fogan brothers, they're not fogging around. They are ready to go. 777 is the dial. 777 is... I made something up. I'm funny. At the beginning, before the tree was activated,
Yep, so he looked over at his brother and said, "Hi, I'm out."
Willie gets the job done. 786 at $1.60.
7-0 champion in the far lane.
That's full Patitas. So far, so well. Keeps his car pretty clean. Tony, he knows what to do.
Tony dumps it, runs a 708. Gets it done. Tony Sloop moving on.
Right lane.
The Hitman. Well, he is a nice guy, and it is a neat car. Brendan Meisner on the tower side here, second generation racer, running his Mustang. He's our friend.
Brendan's taking a big old nap on the line. Glenn Tovey's flashing the brake lights at him.
Yeah.
Right lane.
Brendan just got the Sleep Country Canada Reaction Time Award.
New generation. Oh,
Sorry.
mixing up words. New generation racing engines.
78.6 reaction time, not exactly telepathic, but it's not red. Ooh, and he goes under by 4. Into 750 ICD Insurance. Last year's champion, Jason Jean, taking on the new young lion. Jordan Daniels. So, Chevy powered Chevy and a Chevy powered Ford. Built Ford tough with Chevy stuff. Ford Jordan goes 007 red. That's a James Bond red light.
His car just cut out though. He went red. Okay, sorry. My bad. Slick looking pair of bikes here.
Here we go. 890 index. I-8 bikes coming at him. The pass. He had the reaction time advantage, but didn't like what he felt. Katie Shaw's going to run it down. She doesn't break out, so she moves on to the next round. Katie Shaw into the finals in high eights.
They're gonna make him move out.
Courtesy staging is in effect.
Gary knows that. What's he doing? Yeah, I guess. All right, these two motorcyclists are Mike Pereira, who's always perfect, and takes the win.
9 flat at 133 for Mr. Pereira. He's going to meet Katie.
Sidelines.
0.79 red for Emma there. That is a big time red.
Datsun. Gonna go chase a dinosaur right about now. All right. Jack Snell is into the next round, round number 3.
It done.
Yeah, better light, closer to her ET.
Yeah, Peyton. Runs much closer to the dial, 803 to Madison. Getting 8 flat on the 790 dial. Perfectly run race there. Sadie McCart won. Aubrey Elliott absolutely chopping down the tree against her sister. 007.
007 light for Aubrey. She's...
red there for the young man, so he's finding his way on the tree.
Tiberius, that thing was popping and making all sorts of noise, but not going nowhere.
Got something on the groove there.
This is going to be on the left. Van Paul Racing. Branson, here comes Jesse.
Still too far behind. He's not going to catch him.
Van Bethlehem is gone. 677 at 204 miles per hour. Brant Rossi hit the tree as hard as he could. 005 light, chopping it down. Into 5-0 index, brought to you by ICD Insurance Brokers. It's Dylan Peters, your #1 qualifier in the competition 5.
I'm gonna win. Damn near perfect. Oh, that's Allison right there.
Couldn't run the number.
No good. Bill Goodell moving on to the finals of 5-0. Runs it out to a 560, so sandbagging.
Jay Gallant coming up against Mike Thompson.
Last round. Jake Gallant had to drive around his competitor again. First reaction.
Mike Thompson chopping down the tree again. 002 to Jay Gallant's 168.
Sean Devine and Robbie Ray.
Pair of turbo LS powered combinations. Sean Devine, the left lane, sponsored by Maxwell. Broadway in the right half.
Sean Devine moving on with the 170 light, 552.
All Bawan, all ready to rock and roll.
424 at 165 for Paul Bawan in the heat. 021 on the tree.
Right lane.
Hanno Morris was 163 on the tree, but spinning and bouncing.
Short and sweet. To the point.
Nope.
Yeah, rolled over a bit on him there, so Wisely lifts. On the bye run, he secured his entry into the next round. John Cernnelli gets the win. Look at the top end on these guys. 550 with a 6, 550 with a 3. John Cernnelli was...
Danny Fletcher will go.
Take that. Red for Mr. Drew Gresham. He was close, but no cigar on that one. Logan Kendall, 079, 551 with a 1. Drew was 004 red, 555 with
My final.
Bill Riddle in the BP Racing Fuels lane. BAE heavy power into the hood with the SSI. At the end, going towards the center line, Bill Riddle backs up his 390 pass with another 399 at 187. Jake Blaine hitting the tree, 020. That car, I'm speechless. That car is blowing my mind, man. On the back tires, almost the whole.
Tony in the ex-Agostino machine. Had a little incident with the wall, did he not? Or
Cones.
the cones, that's right. It was the cones, not the cones, the blocks.
Yep, he had a head-on collision.
Well, I would say collision. Meeting.
Yeah, head-on meeting with the mile-an-hour Indy. Going into half track. Popped out his fog light. Track. In the park, in the finals. Guy points to Tony, and it's all on him. Straight. A little wiggle at the end. I think he might have lifted right before the finish line. Look at that. 407 at 177 for Tony Pacelli. That's not a bad lick to make before the...
Steve Winger, Stephen Winger on the tower side of carrying place with the side
The Amazon Primer bike over there in the right lane. He's been taking home all the big checks and all the bike classes that he's in.
Takes the win for Mike Pereira.
Yep, chopping down the tree as he does.
production order Camaro.
Final action coming at you.
My 600 is better than your 598. Take that.
Yep, Sean Woodland took the stripe. Had to break up the Plymouth Volare. Drives around Brad Parent. Brad Parent, oh, I don't know if he was playing games up there or what.
I don't think so.
No.
Over at Will.
You'll see it on track.
Race to lose. He's not going to do it. Nope. Will Bogan Jr. getting it done in 777 bikes at Canada Head.
Carter Daniels does what Carter Daniels does and takes the win. Little Big Daddy on to round number 4. To move on to the final. Seven dial. 1.32 second lead. Here goes Aubrey. Put the pressure on Charlize. Aubrey with a better light. Let's see if Charlize can drive around her and take the win, which she did. Aubrey 128 on the tree, Charlize 64. But Lindsay pulls a rabbit out of her hat and takes the win, 804 on 80. Mike Pereira out of Stony Creek.
That left lane been cutting lights all night. All day.
Buddy Wayne over there. All right, here we go. Street 275 final coming at you.
Can he run the number? He can't. Mike Thompson can't run the number. Sean Devine drives around him and is your winner here at Canada Heads Up race number 2 in
Right. Never mind. We're just talking about that's Glenn. Glen. Glenn.
Classical matchup here. Sluter in the
At the
left.
final,
Hitman on the right. GT. These guys are going to swing for the fences here.
And Tony Sloot is your winner. Whole shot wins all day for Tony Sloot, chopping down the tree in that foot braked C10 Chevy. Tony Sloot back in the Check it out, Logan Kendall. That was a little Kendall, my bad. A little bit anticlimactic there. That was going to be a drag race at the line. Look at Kendall, 0.85. Caldwell taking home the win in Junior Consi.
Good weekend for Lindsay.
Left lane for the win.
Big check for that Fox Body. Sponsored by Mississauga Engines 2024. In the close lane, it's Bill Goodall, the 78 Malibu. One of the quietest and quickest cars on the property.
I love that Malibu.
Bill Goodall is your winner. That car just works so good. Runs it out to about 400 feet. Lips, and he'll save his stuff for the next one. 028 on the tree. Bill Goodall is your... This is for all the marbles in Super Street, the big check, the points, and the cash. Along with the championship points, Formula One is your current championship. Quick.
All right, folks, who you got? Split fire performance in the left lane. Turbo turn, inline 6, taking on the 760 cubic inches of Big Black Chevrolet in the Harley Automotive sponsored Camaro in the right lane. This is Super Street coming at you. Finals, Canada heads up.
But he doesn't have enough to reel in Alagino. Ralph Alagino getting it done. 427 in the right lane. Bill Riddle, your first man in the 3-second zone here at Canada Heads Up Pro 10.5. He backed it up on the last pass, 397 and 399. Tony Pacelli, 401. Wow, side by side. That race was decided by 28 thousandths on the line, man. Daniels getting it done. 015 on the tree, a 93 on his 90 dial. Jack Snell was 030.